Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Doorags here, and welcome to another episode of Episode Rundown, where I, Shady Doorags, run down the episodes of Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. And today we're looking at episode 18, the Pixelator. I don't think there's a "the" in there, I think it's just Pixelator. And this episode, I had high hopes for it, because the last two were really good. Well, the last several were really good. And there were some parts that I really enjoyed and some parts that I didn't really enjoy. Overall, it kind of evens out. So the episode starts with Marinette's class going to this hotel, the hotel that Chloe's dad owns, and they're doing a class assignment. Chloe helped rearrange the groups, so she arranged herself to be with Adrien, and she arranged for Marinette and Alia to get horrible jobs. You would think this might come back to play sometime later, but it really doesn't. But anyway, this rock star comes in. This rock star has been in past episodes. He comes in, and this stalker guy who's following him is taking pictures. And the rock star kicks him to the curb because he doesn't want to take a picture with him because he's creepy. And he becomes Pixelator. He gets the Akuma inside his camera. So I think it's his camera. It becomes his helmet, so it was a little weird. But yeah, it was his camera. And Marinette, whatever job she was about to get, which we don't know what that was, she becomes a gopher. Or maybe she was supposed to be the gopher. She becomes the Rockstar's gopher. She's sad because she wants to hang out with Adrien, and she's upset because she knows Chloe helped rearrange the whole thing. Blah, blah, blah. The Rockstar tells Marinette to go get some sunglasses. Marinette goes to get them, but she intentionally gets not the right ones. She gets ones that are close to him, but not the right ones. And Tiki tells her, Marinette, it's better to do something right the first time. And this is a lesson that Marinette learns within like 5 minutes, but it doesn't really come back. It doesn't really come into play. If they make that into a future episode, I'll be very impressed. Well, I'll be somewhat impressed. I'm not really sure that's a good thing to do since it was such a quick lesson. And I would like it if Tiki did this all the time, tried to teach Marinette lessons. She doesn't really teach Marinette too many lessons. She sometimes spouts wisdom, but none of it is really in a teaching manner. And this lesson, like I said, it was so quick. It happened within like 5 minutes. It doesn't really have anything to do with the rest of the episode. So Marinette brings her bad sunglasses back to the Rockstar. She wants to hang out with Adrien, but the Rockstar is like, no, these suck. Go get the ones I asked you for. Marinette, being a fashion designer, decides to make them, which you would think would be her first thought, but whatever. And she brings the glasses back. After she comes back, she meets the Pixelator. Pixelator has already captured like a bunch of people, including Adrien and Chloe. And again, I thought that was going to go somewhere. Adrien and Chloe were trapped in a void together, no one around. Adrien wanted to turn into Cat Noir because he could probably get out as Cat Noir, but he couldn't with Chloe there. I thought maybe this is going to be where, hey, Chloe's my best friend. I can tell her, I can trust her, blah, blah, blah. And I've been more forgiving of Adrien with Chloe because in the Origins episode, he explained why he never really threw Chloe under the bus. He explained that she was his childhood friend and that she was kind of his only friend. So he couldn't bring it to himself to just like do bad things to her. But now he's just like, he's letting her get away with like really bad attitude. You can see his facial expressions. He does not like the things that she does. And like she's totally swooning over this guy and he's like pushing her away. Like, dude, make your thoughts clear. Chloe, I don't like what you're doing. Stop. What? I mean, I know Adrien's supposed to be a nice guy. I know that. But to me, it feels like whenever Chloe's around, he's one of her pushovers. He lets her do all this stuff. The only thing he does, like, when she tries to force herself on him, he kind of sort of pushes her away. Like, he'll never let her do anything like kiss him. But at the same time, he lets her indulge herself. He lets her have these fantasies that maybe someday could happen. And I'm just like, dude, establish where you stand with this person. Establish that you don't like what she does. Establish that you don't like her as a friend. Really, Adrien shouldn't be liking Chloe as a friend. Really. Because nobody likes Chloe. Nobody likes Chloe. Not even Sabrina. Sabrina secretly hates Chloe. She just thinks she likes Chloe. But anyway, that was a tangent. The Ladybug Ladybug comes out, and she fights the Pixelator. And the Pixelator shoots her arm, her right arm, and only her arm gets pixelated. That didn't make any sense. Because when he was taking pictures of other people, he was just taking pictures of their top half of their torso. So why didn't just the top half of their torsos get pixelated? So yeah, that didn't really make any sense. Another part that didn't make sense, I completely forgot to mention this. It was funny though. Chloe saw the Pixelator and she said, "Hey, you can't come in here. You're clearly not a famous person, like me." And the guy says, "I'm your biggest fan." And Chloe being Chloe, like, I actually really like Chloe in this episode. Chloe being Chloe was like, "Oh, you flatter me. Continue." And the guy says, "Let me take your picture. What was your name?" And she says her name. I'm like, "Chloe, he just said he was your biggest fan. And he's asking your name?" And then Adrian's like, "Chloe, look out!" And she's still standing there. She had a good 10 seconds after Adrian screamed, "Chloe, look out." Or at least a good 5 seconds. And she just still stands there. She doesn't turn and says, "Look out for what?" Or "What are you talking about?" Or anything like that. That didn't make any sense to me. So anyway, I went back in time to talk about that. Let's go back to what I was talking about. Ladybug is fighting Pixelator. She sucks at it though. He shoots her right arm, which Ladybug is apparently right-armed, or right-handed. I didn't even notice that until this episode, because after he shot her right arm, she couldn't really do anything with her yo-yo. She kept missing. That was good attention to detail. They tried I could see the attempt to try and keep Ladybug's right arm out of the picture, because they kept trying to make her use her left arm. They kept having these jokes where she tried to use her right arm and it kept failing. There were some parts I noticed where I was like, wait a second, her arm shouldn't have worked. But I'm going to let those slide because they really did try to put in a lot of effort with her not having a right arm. So she hides the rock star. She hides him in the school, and the Pixelator, I keep calling him the Pixelator. There's no the. Pixelator comes and he just starts shooting random people with his camera, which I found hilarious. He tries to fight Hawkmoth's control, and this weirded me out because I believe it's very inconsistent with what we've seen so far. Hawkmoth's like, "Get her Miraculous," and he's like, "I don't care about Ladybug, I just want to get my revenge," which, that's weird that any Akuma would say that. All the Akumas have been obsessed with the Miraculouses because Hawkmoth is controlling them. So, and Hawkmoth clenches his fist like he's causing the guy pain. And he's like, "No, you're going to do my will." These Akumas I keep calling them Akumas. I know that's not what they are. The actual butterflies are the Akumas. But these villains, in the past, they have gotten momentarily distracted from obtaining the Miraculous because they're trying to achieve both Hawkmoth's goal and their own goal. So when that happens, I don't really question it too much. But for this guy to be the one and only guy to say, "No, Hawkmoth, I want to do my goal," that's very inconsistent with what we've seen so far. And again, Hawkmoth causing him pain. We've never seen that before. Hawkmoth always threatened to take away people's powers. He never really threatened anybody with pain. So in the end, Pixelator's like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So he goes out, starts shooting people, and he's like, "Yo, if you want me to stop doing this, you'll surrender the rock star." Ladybug comes out to fight him, but she sucks because she can't use her yo-yo. They have this part where Ladybug's on the scene. She says this really epic line, and I'm like, was I supposed to think that was awesome? Because it was very well executed, but it was again, it feels like they try to force Ladybug to be awesome a lot of times. I shouldn't say a lot of times. This time they did, and they did it back in Origins. That was one of my big problems with Origins, was that they tried to force me to think Ladybug was awesome. So she loses, but she makes a deal with Pixelator saying, "Hey, I'm the only one who knows where your Rockstar guy is. I will give him to you if you release the hostages," which really conflicted my mind because, again, these people are supposed to be getting the Miraculouses. He has Ladybug in his midst. There is no reason for him to take up this deal. She's like, "Well, I'm the only one who knows where he is." And I was like, he didn't know where he was beforehand. He could just keep doing his plan. Again, very inconsistent with what's going on. And Ladybug, oh my goodness, Ladybug was actually making me upset a little bit. Because she's like, yeah, if you do this, I'll give it to him. Haha, no, I'm actually really lying. That's something I would expect from Cat Noir. And the only reason, I'm not going to say that superheroes shouldn't have any immorality in them ever. It's just that Ladybug has been presented to be this very amoral character. Not Marinette, but Ladybug has. And that felt very wrong to me. It also felt wrong to me when Ladybug goes into Pixelator's house, sees all the pictures of the rock star, and is like, oh, that's so creepy how he stalks this guy around. And I'm just like, you have Adrian's schedule, his entire schedule, on a secret calendar. Hypocrisy. You guys know how I and the universe feels about hypocrisy. No. And nobody called her out on it. Like, I was expecting Tiki to come out and make a joke or something. Well, Tiki couldn't come out because she was Ladybug. But I would expect Tiki to come out and make a joke and say, oh yeah, like you haven't done something creepy like that or something, just to call her out on that hypocrisy right there. I'm jumping around a lot. And I'm sorry. It's just, I just watched this episode. It's kind of fresh in my mind. And like I said, there were things that I liked and things that I didn't. So she loses to the guy. The guy says, I'll free half of them. And then I'll free half of them. Then I'll free the other half when you give me the rock star. He frees half of them. And that's when Adrian gets freed. And Adrian's like, hey, dude, cover for me, and runs. Nobody asks why. Nobody. I do not understand that. Nino was there at the counter covering for Adrian, and Adrian runs off and says, cover for me. Nino says, what do you think I've been doing? Like, Chloe should have been like, where are you going? She should have followed him. Like, she's stuck with Adrian that whole time. Now that she's in the real world, she doesn't want to follow where he's going. Like, that didn't make sense. So Adrian turns into Cat Noir, and he goes to help Ladybug, and the stupidest thing happens. This just ticks me off. Because this was the writers. This was just the writers. It wasn't the plot. It was just the writers were like, no, we can't end the story yet. Cat Noir is behind Pixelator, about to grab his helmet and destroy it. Out of nowhere, this random fan in the background gets up and screams, yeah, go Cat Noir. Why would you do that? There is no point to do that. When Chloe did it back like 10 episodes ago, when she did that, the moment called for it because Chloe is a bit airheaded. She's conceited. She had been told directly, be quiet. And then she screamed, which made her character seem like somebody who's kind of stupid, kind of airheaded, kind of defiant. It made sense, narratively speaking, for Chloe to do it when she did it all those episodes ago. This guy, we don't know who he is. Why did he just stand up and scream that? He was quiet that whole time. Cat Noir had been sneaking up for a good 5 seconds, and he just decided, yeah, the dude had no common sense. I'm sorry, that really ticked me off because I know the only reason they did it was to prolong the story, and I cannot stand when it's so obvious that something like that is being done. When something that's just does not belong in there, it does not belong in the story, is thrown in there just to make what the author does do what it wants to do. Like, I cannot stand that. Is a complete pet peeve of mine. It ticks me off a lot. So anyway, Cat Noir gets shot, which is something else. It's like, how come Ladybug can do all this dodging and whatnot, and Cat Noir just gets directly shot? I mean, I guess you could kind of make it make sense. Cat Noir is the guy who goes in directly, while Ladybug is the thinker. But when they're fighting, they do all this jumping around and stuff. I'm using my hands a lot. They do all this jumping around and stuff. Both of them. Not just Ladybug, not just Cat Noir. They dodge before attacking. So the fact that Cat Noir got hit was weird. While he's inside the picture, though, he does Cataclysm. And I'm like, you could have did that whole time. For all you know, you guys could have been stuck in there. But you didn't want to turn into Cat Noir because Chloe, who is supposed to be your best friend, by the way. Well, Nino's his best friend, but Chloe's supposed to be his oldest friend. You didn't want to transform in front of her. Like this, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but the secret identity thing is really getting to me. Like, it's not even that bad in this episode, but it's the fact that last episode it was a problem, and in Origins it was a problem, and they never explain it. It keeps popping back up. And this little instance where it's not even that big of a deal, it's like, now it's becoming something that I'm becoming really annoyed at. So, Cat Noir frees everyone using Cataclysm, which he could have just done before, and, Ladybug does her Lucky Charm, which is the only move with her yo-yo that she does with her left hand. I never noticed that. I was wondering, I was like, how is she going to get out of this? Because she uses her right hand for everything. And they can't change up the animation. But no, this time they made her use her left hand for it. And she has a mirror, and she finally does the thing again, where she's like, oh there. Yeah, that's her. I was actually really glad to see that. I mean, I'm still not convinced that the Lucky Charm is a good thing for the story. Unless they did it like they did before, like I said, where they use an item that they came across before in the episode, because then it wouldn't be completely out of nowhere. And she throws the mirror at Cat Noir. Cat Noir hits the mirror back. It doesn't break, and the Pixelator, just as he's about to take a picture, shoots himself, and everything gets pixelated but his camera. Why did his camera not get pixelated? They make up a good chunk of things in this episode. And just think about it kind of like just... Then they do the usual, they break the thing for the Akuma. Ladybug gets her arm back so she can actually capture the Akuma. And at the end, the mayor comes down and he's like, oh, hey, I have 4 tickets to this concert to the hardest working students. Aya got one. We didn't see Aya throughout most of the episodes, so I don't know why she was considered one of the hardest. Like, why did Sabrina really? I hope Sabrina got one. We don't know. There were 4 tickets. We didn't see the 4th person. Aya got one. Adrian got one. Marinette got one. Okay, Marinette I can kind of see how, because she spoke to the lady directly. It was like, I want to make sure I get this right. So I can kind of see how she got that. Chloe didn't get one. Her dad is the mayor. Her dad had the tickets. Her dad gets her anything she wants. Her dad knows that this is a guy the rock star is a guy that she likes, because we've seen him in past episodes. But Chloe didn't get one? Like, I would assume he would have saved a ticket for Chloe, because the mayor was like, I want to give these to the hardest working students. The mayor has... what's the word I'm looking for? Spoiled Chloe so much. It's really hard to see him not doing it this time. So that was completely out of character. And Adrian got one. Why did Adrian get one? Adrian wasn't at his post the whole time. It did not make sense. They only did that because they wanted to put Adrian and Marinette in the club together. And when you force things on me, I don't like it when they happen. I was just getting used to this ship, and you guys felt the need to do this. So yeah, that's the episode. I spent way more time talking about this episode than I thought I was going to. This might just be my longest episode yet. But like I said, I kept flip-flopping, because I don't think I talked about a lot of this good things I care about, because the action, was good. There was a lot of good comedy. Like, the thing she was doing with her arm, I really enjoyed that. Where she would try to do this, like, to think, and her hand would just go through her. Or she would hold her mirror thing, her yo-yo, and she would try to type on it, and her hand would go through. She'd just be like, and then hit it with her face, like, It's a lot of good things like that. And like I said, I loved Chloe. Chloe was amazing in this episode. She made me laugh a good chunk. When she was stuck in the void with Adrian, just like, oh no, we're stuck here. Just the 2 of us. And then she just grabs onto Adrian. So yeah, overall, it is meh, because I did highly enjoy some things. I know I talked mostly about the things I didn't enjoy. There was just a lot of things in this episode that ticked me off, which I'm presuming you guys like, because this is the internet and people like to see other people rage. But anyway, that's all for that episode. I think it might be a high meh, because there were a lot of things I liked. But anyway, that's a lot. That's enough. We're going to end the episode. So I will see you guys next time for episode 20. Yeah, 20. This has been Shady Doorags. So long. farewell, as we say, goodbye.